Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This week we're doing the movie Gremlins, made in 1984, and Ryan brings you movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, Ryan Preston, and Rob Charney. So who's going to read what this movie's about?
I think Ryan. No.
Yeah, I got it here. IMDb description that we always refer to. A boy inadvertently breaks three important rules concerning his new pet and unleashes a horde of malevolent, mischievous monsters on a small town.
Malevolently
who wrote that?
Mischievous.
That's a hard thing to say together.
Malevolently mischievous.
It's IMDb, so you never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like Russian roulette.
I would have just changed it and just called it
more
violently.
like a box of chocolates?
I think this is their version of the mail room. Just start out writing descriptions for the movies.
Exactly.
Probably
That's
very
true.
So who wants to go first?
You know, I want to start this one. You know, I've seen this movie
dozens of times.
A few times.
Yeah,
Hundreds
it's your favorite
hundreds.
Christmas movie of all time.
And one of the things is, I know Ryan did this, but back, like 10, 15 years ago, the stations used to do on Saturday and Sunday, like a midday 4-6 hour block of just movies that they would play back to back to back.
I know these are the only movies they had rights to.
And the movies that they had rights to, but you know, you would find a lot of different movies on there, like Mad Max, a few of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, and then you'd find really bad horror movies that were kind of almost B movies, and Gremlins was one of them that they would play a lot.
Critters was the other one.
Critters was the other one.
Right.
It's the one that always gets confused with this one.
Yes.
So not only did I see this in the 80s, but I saw this quite a bit through the 90s, and it's just a fun movie.
I mean, Ryan wasn't even alive when this movie was made.
No.
No, yeah, you're right. Anyway, but you know,
Oh my
the
God.
fun thing for me about this movie is to watch the different things that the Gremlins do in the background. It's almost like Frank Oz with the puppeteers.
Yeah.
It wasn't Frank Oz who did
No,
the
it wasn't,
puppeteering.
but I agree with you.
But you see them doing a lot of fun, different things in the background, especially in the bar scene.
I got something for you to think about. All right, Spielberg was involved with this, right?
Yes.
So you saw the
possession, I
bar
think.
scene. You saw the bar scene? You think the bar scene in Star Wars, maybe there's some correlation to
There probably was.
You know, I kind of looked at it and I went, oh, wow. This is his first bar scene.
But, you know, there's lots of little bits of this movie that really make me laugh, and most of it is the interaction that the Gremlins have with each other. It's always they're kind of like, let's see what we can get this idiot over here to do to get himself hurt.
It's incredibly rebellious, like teenage kind of, you know,
Evil.
really American rebellious, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Evil teenagers. One of my favorite ones was
evil teenagers.
was the bar scene, and there's that like beatnik gremlin.
Yeah.
And that guy came up with the puppets, you know, going like this and that, and he went, whack!
Yeah, there's just a lot of fun things in this movie. A lot of this movie just makes me laugh. There's no real thought process that goes into this movie. It's a very simple plot concept, and it's not really, I don't think this is really should be classified as horror at all.
I think it's the same realm as Critters. I think you could call it like a comedy horror, you know, something.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, a horror comedy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, one of my favorite parts in this entire movie that always makes me laugh really, really hard is the girl explaining why she hates Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a random
God, it's
scene.
one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, I
I've seen
hate
of-
Christmas.
And
I
it's-
cannot
One more
stop
reason.
laughing at that.
That's the one scene every time I see it, it just like, it doesn't fit. So it's just like it's amusing because it really just changes the entire feeling of the movie. And it's
Pulls
just
the
like,
entire tone down.
yeah. It goes from being funny to, damn, what a drag.
Wow, man.
Oh, no, that's not a drag to me. That's just awesome. That is the best story.
Shooting old ladies out windows and biting people, but man, that bummed me out.
And then there's the story of her dad dying and having his neck broken,
Trying to climb down the chimney, and then she
Which I
starts
don't know,
on
unless
fire.
you're going head first, how you break your neck climbing down a chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
well, I mean, he was trying to get the bag down with him.
Oh, and Billy's dad's the Ron Popeil of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
Mr.
love-
Inventor.
My favorite one was that instant juicer, and somehow more juice came out of that than put into it.
Yep.
Oh, no, see,
I noticed that
Yeah,
too. It's one of
he-
those attach a hose to it and just let it
That's
rip.
right. He would have gotten rich if he could have made that happen.
Oh yeah,
So,
he could definitely gotten rich because I mean juicing wasn't really popular at that time, but you know it came along later.
And this movie was 2 years before Corey Feldman did Stand By Me.
Oh really?
This one is
Right.
84. He did Stand By Me in 86.
Oh that's right.
So this is kind of like on the early part of his career, I think, before it really took off.
Yeah, I was also going to bring up, you know, one of my favorite Asian actors is in this, Key Luke. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that guy, 206 acting credits to him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was old. He was old.
He's old. I mean, he was
say,
from
that's a-
Kung Fu.
I know,
Grasshopper,
yeah.
take
Hey.
this from me.
I was
Yes,
going to say, he
yes.
aged really well for being 206.
He did.
No,
yeah.
I meant
Woo-wee.
he has 206
movies.
acting
Well,
credits.
He's got the perfect look for
Yeah,
it.
he
You know,
does.
you needed a strange Asian looking guy. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
But-
gonna, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
Was that inappropriate? I just okay.
okay, that's it.
I just want to make sure.
I don't have anything good to say right now, so switch to James.
Anyways, but like I said, I mean, this is just a fun movie. There's really no thought behind it at all. The one thing that I do have to say is it won 7 awards of the Saturn Awards, which is the Academy's nomination of sci-fi horror film things.
Really?
that
I
is
didn't
what it is.
actually
It
know
won
that.
7, and how many did it say it was nominated for? 14.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
I'm looking at
it's-
something different. So.
Wow.
It's amazing how many things this
awards.
got.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Kind of
Oh, no,
almost changes
so-
your mind.
So it said 7 wins and 5 nominations.
5 nominations? I thought it was more than that.
No,
Well,
because
but
it-
actually, in the
So 12.
process of kind of looking up a couple of the other cast members, I went to Rotten Tomatoes. It's coming in at like an 84% with the top critics, in as much as that's how many of
Wow.
them gave it good reviews.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprised me. Like, as much as I like this movie, I always felt like I had to kind of defend it, but apparently not.
No.
Apparently,
no.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
well-received movie.
I do got to throw in there now. I love Inglourious Bastards. That is like by far one of my
where this
most
is going.
favorite movies. But I'm wondering how much inspiration did Quentin Tarantino take from that and the Gremlins movie theater scene? And I love the fact that they were watching, what was it again?
Snow White. the
Snow
Seven
White.
Snow White, right? Yeah.
Which, by the way, is amazing. They got
And
the ability to show that.
They
Yeah.
they threw in some credits.
Credits.
to
Yeah, we watched
Disney
that,
at the
yeah.
end.
but I'm
Yeah, they
assuming
did.
they would have got permission. That's the part.
I'm
that-
sure they did.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
part.
Well, they
that-
had to. They couldn't use.
That's the part that surprises me. That Disney's like, yeah, sure, that's fine, because it would never happen today.
No, heck no. I mean,
Well, no, of course not.
maybe Walt was still alive and said, "Go right ahead."
In '84.
Well, at the same time, though, I mean, Who Framed
brother.
Roger Rabbit? That was what, 1988?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a few years after, 3 years after, and they licensed all kinds of characters in that movie.
They reference practically everything, all their
Pretty
main
much
cartoons.
everything, and that's the one that everybody always references is you'll never be able to do that again. Too many
yeah.
lawyers involved
I
now.
was gonna say one of my favorite things in this movie was the very well timed soundtrack. Like when the mom was on the house by itself and the record player played.
Yeah.
I don't remember the song, but do you
It
see,
was,
do you see what I see?
Yeah. Do you see what I see?
I saw that. I was literally rolling on the floor laughing. It's like, that is the perfect cut.
And I was happy that she took the time to turn it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, in that particular scene, I was going to bring up anyway, but I love how she turned from housewife to like serial killer
Oh,
quickly.
know.
Like
You know
the
what
kid that you always are warned about, like if he likes to kill small animals, she's
Yeah.
microwaving them. She has a knife in her hand. She decides to hit the blender.
Well, didn't you? You know, I was telling Jonathan during the scene where she was stabbing with the knife. They should have cut into that soundtrack.
Psycho.
Oh,
on
Psycho?
Psycho, where you know, because it would have been perfect. They
Hitchcock
missed that.
probably didn't go down with
Yeah,
that.
probably.
Actually,
But it would have been perfect because
the
that's what
blender
it looked
scene
like.
was awesome because I love the fact you got to see all the bits flying around it.
Yeah,
Or the fireplace scene when you got to see going, ah!
Yeah.
the grinder was pretty cool.
By the way,
Yeah.
Disney had been dead for 18 years, so
Yeah.
he probably said okay.
it was probably Roy.
Yeah.
At least he
Disney.
didn't
Yeah,
object.
that's true.
Yeah,
He was the
true.
one with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what did you got, Rob?
Hey, you know, one of the things that I decided to do with this movie, since it's so much fun, was to kind of look at the goofs. So,
Oh,
I was
which are plenty.
Oh yeah, they got tons of them here.
There's
And
an eye deep in this movie.
we were trying to watch a number of. Let's see if we can see this hand, because there's one scene where there's you can actually see the puppeteer.
You can see the little poles that stick off the hand so many times it could be a drinking game.
Yep, exactly. Things like like when he cut the Christmas lights with the scissors in that one scene.
Yeah,
all the bulbs are still lit. Things like that.
But there were sparks when he did it. What was even funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did. I just had a great time with the movie. It was a lot of fun. I really liked looking at the goofs and seeing if we could see them and point them out. And it was just, I have to sit here and think of what the hell's wrong with me liking a movie like this, But I actually did.
A fun
it was a fun
I
movie.
think we're gonna have to do a flashback of Killer Tomatoes.
Oh no, man! Wow.
Yeah,
Well, see,
but
this
anyway.
one, it sort of tricks you in the beginning into thinking it's this kind of little family movie. You know what I mean? Which it technically is, because a lot of the humor is that same kind of Warner Brothers style humor where the adults are laughing at something different than the kids. The kids don't realize exactly how sadistic the movie is.
And I think you bring up a good point. That's the reason why the kids and the parents both liked the movie,
right?
Because there is something for both of them in there.
They do what I like to refer to as vaudeville humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it's not only
which
for
Warner Brothers is great at.
Yeah, it's not even for the kids, but it's just for the adults as well. It kind of brings in both.
Yeah, innuendo or just little sight gags, little winks at the camera, those kinds of things. But as an adult, even watching it by yourself without any kids, you're kind of suckered into thinking it's one type of movie, and then when you find out it's this other type, you're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And the best part about it, though, is because it's the '80s, so it's almost inside baseball to the '80s generation, because you're noticing like the King King Kong. Yeah, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong game on the bed, and that's the part I like the most.
But at the same time, I was actually even thinking about this because I noticed how much different it is from most of the '80s movies that you see. Since it takes place in a small town, you're not really beat over the head with all of the popular '80s shit that everybody always liked to throw into movies.
Yes.
Hey, I enjoyed seeing some of those cars.
Hey,
I'm saying aside from just kind of like maybe a couple of bits of furniture or the automobiles.
No track
and the types of
suits.
inventions that the guy had, it wasn't really like, hey, look at the crazy glasses that everybody's wearing.
I did like their version of the clapper, the remote.
One of the interactions that I thought was pretty funny was the interactions between the two cops, the sheriff and the deputy, right?
Yes.
And so they're in the scene, and the deputy says, "Hey, let me drive," and the sheriff says, "Now you're drunk." And the deputy says, "But you always get the drive." And he says, "That's because I'm the sheriff, asshole." It was
my favorite, the other best part is after that, is you see the little gremlin crawl underneath the car and break the brake line.
Yeah, break the brake line.
And just go, and walk off.
You see that's what I'm saying, like teenage, well, not really teenage, because that's insane, but just that kind of like,
I don't know where you
somehow they already know how to just mess with people. Like they're messing with their cable, their brake lines, the woman's chair, just things that how would you even know to mess with that?
They had to have a ball making this movie. They just had to.
And it seems that they had some fun with the sight gags of can't do bright lights, so this chick's there with an old Polaroid. Flash.
Right.
But apparently it doesn't affect them when it's, from a can light or it's reflecting off of snow.
Right, yeah.
Can't be perfect.
I was going to mention the guy with the tractor, snowplow.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that character so much.
That guy's so awesome.
He's even cooler in the second
Damn foreign cars.
Yeah.
I must have had a blast doing that.
Damn foreign TV.
There was one of the notes mentioned that they had a shoot one evening in which they had nothing but trouble with the Gremlins, and it took so long to get it right that the entire cast fell asleep.
there's
It's like, oh, okay.
There's a question I've always wondered.
Probably the
Like,
bar scene.
Yeah, probably.
Like, why was the Gizmo the only Mugwai that was only ever good? Because you could see, like, all the other ones, when they're, like, little fuzzy and cute, they're always evil. Like, there's always a dopey one, and there's always one with an evil, sardonic grin.
Well, I
Right.
think
Well,
it's
you know,
because-
everybody's always good until you're cloned, and then that's your evil person.
That's a good point.
It's the same theory with.
I
Gremlins.
was going to mention that he was probably with grandfather Mr. Wing for so long.
The 206 years.
Yeah, for 206 years. Why you guys kept thinking I was talking about 206 years? Anyway, that he was with him for so long that, you know, he had good, you know, influences. You know, he was taught by
Right.
quite trained.
Like pit bulls aren't
chain
bad
gang or
animals; they just have
whatever.
bad owners.
Yeah.
So what was I'm curious, and what was everybody's favorite, like, sight gag with the Gremlins? Like, what was the one scene that just made you laugh?
Has to be the Gremlin. I got a scene that I really liked.
Like, I mean, like the interaction between the Gremlins, because there's a lot of hilarious ones between the Gremlins or the Gremlins and the people. Because, you know, there's some really funny ones. Like one of the ones I liked was the one at the end of the movie, and there's that water tower, that fountain, and you see the Gremlin stick his finger and kind of look at the guy, go, you know,
Yeah.
and an instant pain.
I'd have to say is during the bar scene, there's a section where they're all playing poker.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say exactly that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the one in drag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna
right. Right, that's good. I personally like the microwave.
Oh, the mic.
Yeah.
That's my.
I like how she kept looking. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She wanted to
Turn
watch
away.
it explode.
She had to make sure it worked.
it did too.
That
Boy,
he wasn't a cockroach just sitting there.
I was just hoping it didn't have any metal on him. You know.
She should have stabbed him with a spoon.
I think it ruined the microwave anyway, though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just
I'm
a
sure
little.
that's not usable anymore. But the great thing is the husband can come and fix it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was actually a
would
really good
improve.
line. He's like, didn't he fix it?
Did you
I thought,
notice?
yes, he did.
One of the things they mentioned in the notes, they were talking about the fact that every time he got squirted with stuff from his invention or whatever, you know, he's always seen wiping it, but the next cut, he's perfectly
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
always-
it never. Yeah, that was also the
That's
other
because
gag.
he's got a self-cleaning shirt.
Yeah, it must self-cleaning everything. Yeah.
That what was it? The bathroom helper and everything was
Oh,
attached.
that was
Yeah.
just great. I love that.
The toothbrush was the
Travel
one.
mate. Travel mate.
Yeah,
Something
travel
like-
mate or
The,
something.
There's
like that.
something. Yeah.
the best part was when he showed the
Bathroom buddy.
Bathroom
old-
buddy.
Yeah.
Thank
Bathroom
you.
buddy.
When he showed the
there
old
you go.
Asian guy, it's like, look, when pulls up the toothbrush, when you do this, he goes, it's like, no, hey, stop. It's like, stop.
John Candy probably made the travel buddy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Anyway, yeah, I you know, honestly, if I had to give this one a rating, it'd be a 3. Just because there's so much nostalgic value to this movie to me. And also the fact that I've watched it so many times and I still I can't say I hate the movie or think that there's things that aren't redeeming. There, of course, there's things not redeeming about the movie. It's just a fun comedy horror that, you know, was made for kids, but, you know, they try to throw things in there for parents, but it's a fun thing for kids to watch, and you don't have to be like 13 years old to watch it.
Right.
I give it a 3 out of 5 for everything James said, and I think the most important part is it doesn't speak down to you. Like a lot of movies like this, it's really, if you're old or if you're too young, they really speak down to you. And this
Yeah.
one,
No.
this one just, you know, just treats everybody equal, and what you find funny is funny, and that's what I think is the best part. Is it's not, you know.
You know what I really liked was actually the movie tempo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the tempo was there, and it kept going, and something crazy happening.
Until
and
that
something
one
crazy was
scene with the
happening.
girl in the Santa Claus death.
I thought
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
what you
pretty
guys
good,
talk
yeah,
about.
I
That
know.
made me laugh more than any of the rest of the movie.
That was pretty funny.
That really
He
slowed down
always
the
dresses
tempo.
as Santa Claus every year too. That was funny. I like the interaction of the cranky old lady at the bank.
Yes, the Cruella de Vil
Yeah,
character.
and she talks about what she's
Give me
going to do
that
with the dog. Yeah.
My only question: if she hates Christmas, what was she doing with a Santa Claus, with the snowman?
No, I didn't think she
Oh, you
hated
know, that's
Christmas,
actually
but-
one of my other favorite parts, and it made Jen laugh so much when they wired her chair. Oh my gosh, she laughed so hard when she came flying out that window.
She really did too.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite
That was
parts.
a good one.
She
It was
got some air.
Well, we're
Yeah,
giving.
she did.
from the cops too.
Yeah, so you want mine? I'm going to say it's the three. Obviously,
Oh,
this
wow.
is not going to be a go to the Academy Awards type movie. It
Well,
never was
they
meant to
won
be.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
It
it,
should
it won
have.
its own share of weird awards anyway. But that just shows you any movie can win an award.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Even
it's just simply because it was fun. They
Even
had a good time with
Catwoman
it.
won an award.
Even Catwoman won an award for costume or something.
Was it the Rhino Award from MTV?
Razzies.
Razzies?
Oh, that's
So,
right,
Ryan,
right. Yeah.
what about you? What's your rating on your favorite
It's got
Christmas
like a
movie?
10.
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yes. And this was another
No, we're
person
talking to your
named Ryan.
evil twin back there.
I have to go with the 3 also. There's no way I'm gonna defend it as a 4. Obviously, I mean, just for the amount of goofs that there is, you can't. But it's
I
a
wanna
fun
see you
movie.
try.
Everybody can think it's a fun movie. I think I said this about some other movie last week or the week before. It's one of those movies you can show to your kids at kind of an early age. And they'll just think you're an awesome parent because they're like getting away with seeing something kind of edgy.
Yeah.
You said
true.
that about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with. I think that
that-
they need to be quite older
Little-
for that.
yeah,
Maybe 14 or 15.
Yeah, I would agree.
Not a
with that.
6-year-old.
Not
I
a
think-
6-year-old.
I think the one thing I think about this though is the formula works because the second one, without getting too much spoilage, has the same entertainment value.
You know,
But it's a difference.
I agree and I disagree. I think there's a lot of fun and I shouldn't go into it.
Well, I
It's the
don't-
second
yeah,
one.
I'm
It's
just saying
everything.
overall, but yeah.
I think there's a lot of fun interaction with the Gremlins. I just think that this one's got a better plot devices.
I agree. because
Well, like
was
most
so
original movies.
Freaking
usually-
original, yeah.
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 It was very, very original. I mean, this was like a Christmas Carol that got, like invaded by Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
So wow.
Wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the portion of the show where we talk about movie news, and it's Ryan's turn.
Ryan.
Okay, well, I only got a couple of things that I really wanted to bring up. One of which was just a quick little thing that I'm going to apologize for because I can't stop bringing up stupid comic book news on movies. But Paul Rudd, I guess, was just recently announced as Ant-Man.
Yes.
Ant-Man.
I
That's
know.
that's one character I can't wait to see how they do.
See, I'm excited specifically because of Paul Rudd because immediately I can understand the tone that they're going to go for, and it'll be great with Paul Rudd.
Because that character is kind of, well, he's a moody son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How are they going to
really
carry?
is.
How are they going to do the character? It's either going to be done really well or it's going to just be horrible.
I think Paul Rudd could play it. It may not be verbatim to the comic book, but I think he could do really good.
It'll be an adaptation, of course.
I like Paul Rudd, but I gotta say, I just don't like the Ant-Man character. I've never liked him. I always thought he was, almost as good, almost as bad as Aquaman. But it's
But he didn't. But Ant-Man didn't have a really bad video game.
okay. But they're gonna make one. But he's just kind of like one of those worthless characters. Watch me go small. Here I am, big,
Well,
small,
I think
big,
the-
small,
the-
big,
IMDb.
small.
Well, the thing about Pym, who the Ant-Man's is,
This
real
But he's
name
smart.
is,
right?
is he's actually the guy who made Ultron, if I remember
Yes.
correctly. So that would be setting up for a
Yes.
third movie.
Well,
Second
but
one,
also
depending.
it's going to be Edgar Wright who's directing it, which is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, all of the
Yeah, I'm excited for the director and things, but it's just.
But I think with Paul Rudd and Edgar Wright, I think that's a pretty telling sign of what the movie's kind of gonna feel like. You know what I mean? It's not gonna take itself crazy seriously. It's probably gonna be
The question-
pretty visually amazing, obviously, and then.
The question does it sound, because it sounds like it's going to be more comedic. Do you think it's going to fit in with the feeling the other Avenger movies have?
Oh, sure. I mean, it's going to be as heroic as it needs to be. Edgar Wright is no stranger to putting together like a good action sequence.
Or the overall feeling, because Avengers was goofy without being like over the top.
Well, see, that's what Edgar Wright's also good at. I mean, look at the. He can dial it back to whatever he wants. Shaun of the Dead is a very, very funny movie, but
It
it has
is,
a
it's hilarious.
tonally, it's pretty serious.
True.
But they also got Joe Cornish on it with the writer too, and I'm not really impressed with his stuff. I mean, he's got Adventures of Tintin, Attack the Block.
Tintin was the cartoon.
Co-wrote Hot Fuzz though.
Yeah, he did. I agree. But
Freaking funny.
But I mean, looking at it, I mean, they got 2 comedy writers kind of in here, and then they got Stan Lee, who's always, kind of got some little hand
Well,
in the
yeah,
thing.
they're going to have a ton of consultants because Marvel they're all kind of trying to do. They got their main guys that they're doing with the whole comic book universe, and then they're going to do start putting out these ancillary ones with the whole Guardians of the Galaxy and this kind of thing.
And I'm assuming,
which I'm excited for.
And I'm assuming that Joss has a lot of stroke on these because it's basically his universe he's created. So I'm assuming.
I mean, these little ones, I'm not sure he's going to really have to have a hand in.
Well, I'm assuming far is the continuity into the big movies that it has to be a certain way. Because eventually he's going to be in one of the Avenger movies. So
I don't think so. I don't think they need to bring Ant-Man.
Because he's he's a fairly major part of the actual canon of the story. So I'm assuming he's going to be in there somehow. Maybe as an ancillary character.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they blend all this together.
Sorry.
Okay, we're putting Rock to sleep.
Yeah, we've been on this one for quite a while.
He's old. He can't help it.
Yeah,
On to the
sorry,
next.
He eats dinner at 3 p.m.
East Coast time.
You're wishing you're in Florida?
Oh, what the hell?
He loves the warmth. So what were you saying, Ryan?
He's moving on.
I was gonna just move on to the next piece so we can get off of comic books, which I'm sure everybody's sick to death of.
Not really, but hey.
Now, I'm not sure how much of a fan everybody is of Kevin Smith, cult filmmaker,
One of my
Clerks
favorites.
and
Yeah.
Chase,
Yeah.
Amy, Dogma, all that stuff, the Jay and Silent Bob world.
Red
Recently kind of started doing, like venturing out, and you just recently did Red State, the horror movie.
I like that horror movie. I think say that was a drama.
Suspense.
Suspense.
Thriller.
Okay, thriller. Thriller's
So
good.
is this his official last movie? Because I know he's talked about he's going to do a couple of more movies and call it quits.
Well, see, I don't know. He mentions it all the time, and then he always gets another idea. The one that I'm about to bring up right now is birthed out of a conversation that he had on a podcast that he does with his producer.
I was going to say, please be Jason Mewes. Please be Jason Mewes.
No, it was with Scott Mosier.
Oh, I like Mosier.
This should be
Yeah, me too.
interesting.
He's a good guy. But anyway, so I was listening to this show, and they started going on about this story that came out of Canada, where this guy put in a personal ad that he wanted somebody to live with him, that he would pay for their room and board and all of the amenities and etc. If he would get into a walrus costume for
this one.
up to 2 hours a night or something like that, and pretend to be his long-lost walrus friend that he had befriended on some desert island. Some complicated story that basically involved the guy getting into a walrus suit. So off this conversation, he says, wow, wouldn't it be funny if we made this movie?
And get somebody to pay for it.
3 months later, he's pretty much written the movie and cast the movie, and I think the last I heard was he just wrapped shooting on the movie.
Is this Tusk?
Tusk,
Yeah.
2014.
I don't believe he
Again,
got...
based off of a podcast conversation, but Justin Long, Michael Parks, who was in Red State as the preacher, the main guy, also been in a bunch of other things that you would recognize. Very, very prominent character actor.
Holy crap.
Haley Joel Osment's
Osment,
actually apparently credited in this movie.
This is the first time I've seen him in a long time in a movie.
It's the first time I think anybody's seen him in a long time in a movie. Maybe other than popping up in a couple of TV episodes of something.
Yeah, I think the last time I really watched a movie that he was in was Secondhand Lions.
I was going to say, apparently he couldn't see his career.
Low blow.
I am curious, though, do you know if it's private, if it's funded by the... By him or somebody else?
I think he's maybe getting a couple of people as investors, and then sort of taking it out by himself. Because when he did Red State, he had basically burned all of his bridges with the distribution houses, saying, "I'm going to do this all myself."
Yeah.
And I think he's since then opened up Smodco Productions, which is sort of his own little indie distribution house, where he's kind of taking films that have had some accolades at film festivals and bringing them under his umbrella. So I think he might be doing it under that company name.
See, that's cool, because in that one, a lot of the movies he tours with and does talks with, that's
Exactly,
actually...
yeah. He'll do Q&As and take it all around the first, few months before it hits, wide theater release.
I actually
Kevin
think that's
Smith
cool.
has always seemed to hate the big budget companies.
Yeah, well, he
is
hates
not a friend of
basically the all of the money going towards an advertising budget that turns out to be more than what the movie was made for, and then when the
Exactly.
movie only does, half of what they spent on it, then they consider it a failure.
And I think
You
the
know,
other
and-
part he hates is the control. Like if they hear something they don't like it, they demand that it be changed.
Well, and with him, I mean, with his type of career, I don't think they've ever said, "Hey, change this." I mean,
I don't think
he's a cult artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, do what you do, just do it again.
he's never been big on the radar unless I really do think unless you're a movie guy or you
He's
somehow
got a-
seen one of his movies. I don't think he's
He has
known
got
that
a
well.
faithful cult following.
He definitely does.
It's a cult following, but it's a cult following of people who spend way too much in the middle section of a blockbuster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like us
Brian
who
and I.
who
Well, you
have
know-
seen every single movie in the movie theater.
You know who
movie
really
store,
likes
so-
him? Jay Leno.
Yeah.
He's on Jay Leno quite a bit, and
Yeah.
it's very interesting. So I've
Yeah, he's on
often-
the radio down here quite a bit with the morning show in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so sometimes you think that maybe some of these guys are kicking in a little bit for him to do these
Yeah.
movies because
Well,
it's hard to make money.
Well,
I mean-
like James said, he's got such a good following. All he's got to
Yeah.
do is tweet out, "Hey, I'm making this movie. I'm crowdfunding it." Everybody's
Right.
going to give a
Yeah.
few
Oh,
bucks.
yeah.
It's because
Absolutely.
they all like his movies and everybody, I really
Why
do
don't we
think
try that?
I really do
joke.
think all of his fans are movie people. I really
Don't we
do
have to be
think.
good at this first, Rob?
Well, I actually
There's
disagree with you,
always
John.
something,
Really?
isn't there?
Why?
Yeah, right.
I think
I mean, movie fans.
most of the
I guess.
faithful ones are movie fans. The other ones are just kind of people who are, I would say, kind of mixed college stoners. Because if you see
Sure.
when he
Yeah,
goes
I'll
to
agree
the
with
colleges,
that.
he's got
Yeah,
so
well-
many people who don't really know other than Jay and Silent Bob
And
movies.
well, he
Right.
is a stoner.
He's one of those guys
You know?
that spoke to a generation pretty well, and
Yeah.
then only recently has kind of started to come out of his shell as far as making legit movies.
Yeah, and I really thought Red State was a fantastic movie.
Great movie. If you haven't seen it, go out and check it out. I think it's still on Netflix.
Actually, one of my all-time favorites of his is Dogma, in which Jay and Silent Bob are really after characters.
Yeah, very,
Right.
very ancillary to the
But
story.
I just think it's the basis of Dogma is just such a fantastic film, and I'll probably
Incredibly
pick that-
original movie.
pick that at some point, and we can discuss it. But I would say some of his fans aren't really big fans of the things that he really is into and what he really stands for.
Yeah.
They just kind of like the fact that he's a stoner and he makes really
Exactly.
kind
I
of
don't
strange,
I don't
perverse
think some of the
movies.
people really get what he's into.
No.
Because I think one of the things, if you get Dogma, I think you really get the reason why he did. I think
Well,
you get that.
that
a little
I mean,
more.
if you sit down and watch Zach and Mira make a porno,
Yeah.
you
Great
really
movie.
You really see kind of
never
his
actually heard that
sick,
two words
kind
in
of
the same
twisted.
sentence.
No, it really is.
No,
and
it
great
really
movie
is,
in the
man.
same
Like, despite
sentence.
the
Yeah, okay.
title and the perception that you might
Yeah,
have
yeah.
of it, it's such a sweet, like, loving movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
There's,
really
like,
is.
there's
It-
so much heart in that movie.
It's not strange like Chasing Amy.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next week's pick is the old guy. So we may have to dust off the VHS tape. So what?
You might. You
what-
might.
what-
I didn't
It's
realize
real
Ryan
deal.
was so young. That scared the hell out of me.
It was only off by 1 year. I was born in 85.
I was gonna
right?
say, yeah,
All right, okay.
John and I are only like 4 years older than him. Think about that.
Oh.
Yeah, but my favorite movie
Well,
is
okay,
the
so we're
30s.
still sticking with the Christmas theme, and I was thinking, okay, what movie out there that still had some Christmas but wasn't be Christmas? So you guys, you're going to be ready for this one? Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, nice.
Dang it, haven't seen that movie in
Nice.
years.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Thank
I don't know
you.
if I've seen that movie
Yeah.
since the theaters.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to see it again, and I thought, okay, let's
Got
do
some
it.
of my favorite Johnny Depp lines.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So that's my pick. You can thank me later.
Awesome.
I think we already did. Thank you.
Okay, now, and that's what we just did.
All right.
When Depp had a good career. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave the
Forever the cynic.
Yeah.
Seriously? Is that a surprise?
No, I'm just stating the obvious.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gave the movie Gremlins a 3. James gave it a 3. Ryan gave it a 3. The old guy gave it a 3. Next week's movie is Edward Scissorhands, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
I love that. I'm stealing
Just when I think you can't say anything negative about one particular person, I'm like, oh, you'll have to let this go. Yeah, like Johnny Depp, Dad.